I'm so glad you did it into the video just once, just one time. You have such a beautiful singing voice. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back once more to the Rayjet 1 hour Rayjet Laser Rayjet Design Challenge for Rayjet. My name is Don. Order has been restored. I am back in my usual chair. Yes. Miguel did a great job last week. If you haven't seen it, just fast forward through the design parts and just listen to Miguel and Amy. We had a lot of fun last week, but this week, order has been restored. Quality design has been restored. Things will be back to normal, I promise. We've seen your comments. Thank you for watching. You guys are really, really sweet. My name is Don. I have been with ShortTech for about 2 years. I'm the consumables manager. To my camera right, stage left, I don't know, over here. Yeah, nailed it. The very talented Miguel. How are you?
Dali, how's everybody doing today? It's great to be back in my chair, designing, doing something, different again. However, today it's not going to be as fun as last week because I decided to do something that I'm setting myself up to failure. It's going to be a little bit crazy, but let's see what comes, right?
I was going to say, we're keeping the stakes high after last week. The stakes are very high. Also, really quickly, I wanted to mention, obviously, the ever-talented Amy Hill is here with us at Mischief Pop on Instagram. Do not miss it. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Very well, very well. Thank you.
It's 23 degrees today, so we're doing great.
It's lovely. It's really, really nice.
After a 3-degree afternoon, night, like last Thursday, right? That was crazy, dude. Like in September.
That's not right. No, it's not right. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, Canada does that to us sometimes.
Canada's rude. I should say, also, we would love to hear where you guys are watching from. If you're tuning into the stream either for the first time or you are a repeat viewer, we're very happy to have you here. Whether you're watching from Twitch or from Periscope, from YouTube, from Facebook, wherever you're watching from now or in the future, hello, future me. If you'd love to drop a hello in chat, if you want to ask any questions about, consumables, what we're doing in design, projects we have on the go, I hope you will drop us a question in chat and we'd be happy to answer that for you. Anything in Portuguese, in English, in French, we got you covered.
Do you know any other language, Emmy? You can...
No.
I figured like Miguel can handle the Portuguese, Amy can handle the English, I will get the French. We'll be pretty set across the board. I should say, as Miguel said, this week we're sort of setting ourselves a bit of a tricky challenge. Miguel, do you want to talk about like what we have in store for viewers today?
We're doing timepieces because I cannot be saying clocks all the time because YouTube might take us down. If that sounds wrong.
Also, you get sick of hearing the word clock over and over and over and over and over.
So we're going to do some timepieces today. It's going to be pretty cool. But I thought about doing something like show you guys something new that I just didn't do here as a design. I don't know if Corel has something similar to envelope distort. Does it?
Something similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Something similar. So I'm going to show a little bit about envelope distort and what type of effects you guys can have it. And we're going to try to do a distorted ramen bowl as a clock. So that
might interesting.
That might explode sideways to me, yes, it might be interesting. It might look like crap. So
I don't think so. I think the big thing that we want to show you today is like Miguel was working with envelope distort at his computer for a separate project this week. And I happened to walk by and I was like, that looks really cool. And he's like, it is really cool. Like, let me show you these things that you're showing me, like this and this and this. And we just started talking like, hey, maybe this could be the thing. Some weeks there is only that much thought put into it. It's just we stumble across something really, really cool. And then we realize we just want to share it with you guys. And potentially, who knows, there could be an envelope distort genius in the chat who's going to be able to pop in and like give us some me at least, some hints and tips and stuff that they don't know. But in terms of like using envelope distort to make a ramen bowl clock, that's totally Miguel. You guys, he took a cool concept and just ran with it to a crazy place.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Amy, what about you? I know you've got some I know the brief sort of this week was like clocks or custom clocks, but I'm interested, can you give us a sneak peek at some of the ideas you were working with this week, like what you might have in store?
I'll be thinking about doing some autumn stuff again. We are in fall now. It was the equinox.
like we said, 3-degree evening.
Well, it's truly hit here in the UK, so everyone's
was-
getting wet weather.
I was gonna ask is like, what is? Well, I feel like we ask you about the weather every week. I need to break this habit. This is getting to be a problem.
It's totally
I know I
miserable
do
over
it.
here.
Let's get the icebreakers.
And then Miguel was like, "What should I talk to Amy
Jenga.
about?" And I was like, "Well, ask about what she's doing and stuff." He's like, "I know, obviously, but like, what question should I ask?" I was like, "The weather. Like, how is Amy? How is she in the weather? How is she enjoying?" So it rains, eh? How do you like the rain?
It rains.
We got puddles for days.
Okay. So I am going to pop up a little banner here. Just as we're about to get started, I want everybody to know who might be watching that if you have any ideas for what we could be doing week to week in the design challenge, I mean, every week we're having our designers take on either a technique, a tool, potentially a project or a particular product that we want to try and, make a version of in under an hour. We want to show you how the Rayjet software works. We want to show you some design principles, that sort of stuff. If you have some ideas for different themes we could do, stuff we could tackle in the future, I hope you'll visit the bit.ly link that's in the little scrolling bar at the bottom there. Give us a little bit of information about you, what you like, don't like about the stream, and maybe some ideas kind of going forward. We reference that all the time to come up with cool new stuff to do. So I hope you'll check it out.
Did not say what you don't like about the stream. There's only me and Don and Amy as a guest, right? But you're not going to be talking.
We know it's not going to be Amy.
Yeah, it's not going to be Amy. It's going to be probably the two of us. So please don't
be Amy fans.
Put it out
Legion
there.
of Amy faithful. Yeah. No, I think we have to hear what we don't like about the stream, if only just because it lets us grow. It lets Miguel host more, because I know that you guys are happy to see Miguel host more. This man crushed it last week. He did a great job. Also, we've got our new producer, Lexine, working. So if you have any questions about what you see on the screen, we'll try and get Lexine to help us grab like some close-ups and some different things. But we're very lucky to have Lexine working here. Our old producer is doesn't matter. So anyhow, I know he watches these after. That's why it just gives me such a treat. Okay, so shall we get started? I mean, like we're about 5-10 minutes in. Let's get things rolling. Miguel, do you want to share your screen? Maybe you can tell us where we're kicking off from.
We shall.
Awesome.
Let me share my screen with everybody. All right, there we go.
Cool.
So,
Swoop.
I already went out of my way and did something, right? This thing here, and it distorted to look kind of weird, right? And also I did the text, right, with envelope distort. As you guys can see, this mesh around the vectors, this is what envelope distort is, right? But I'm not gonna simply get this and engrave or whatever. I'm gonna start and do some new elements. I'm actually gonna do a ramen bowl. So let me see if I can grab an image here that I had. This is, according to Don, a Naruto, right?
Naruto radish, yeah.
Date Bayo or something like that, right?
Oh, I love my anime sideshow. I'm all about it.
Yes, exactly. But people cannot know that I'm a weeb too. Should I say that oh my god.
Too late. Oh no.
Yeah, my first job.
I can see you.
Dude, my first job I ever had in my entire life was I was saving money all the time to buy Naruto DVDs. I had entire collection. My mom one day just threw it away. She's like, "You gotta grow up." I was like, "Well." Anyway.
Whoa. That was a deep cut. And now I'm a designer.
Yes, exactly. I do Naruto for a living. So yeah. I want to do some of these elements, right? I don't know what the name is. This white thing with the pink thing in the middle.
It's literally called a Naruto Maki. It is a radish that goes in. Yeah, that's where the name.
Look at that. Perfect, right? So I'm gonna inlay this. I think that's gonna look cool. I'm gonna do a little bit of the onions. Probably do some shadows for the noodles, because I have here the True Lay's almond and black. Did I say right?
It's exactly perfect. Almond black trolleys. Yeah.
See, I'm evolving. I know the materials that we're using now. Look at this. And
you're a pro. I told you.
And we're gonna use the matte white and yellow to do eggs around this thing, right? So this is basically what I'm gonna do for you guys, and this is just an example of how I'm gonna do it. Now I'm gonna show you how to do an envelope distort, right? Very quickly, and then I'm going to do my thing. So let's take this. This is a fairly complex shape. select the thing, go to object, you go to envelope distort, and you can either to make it warp, which is really simple to distort, right? That you have the options here, and then you can edit if you have something in your mind already, right? Different types of distort. But what is she? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
It's nothing. It's nothing. Lev was putting in trolling chat like comments, so I blocked him for 5 minutes.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Anyway,
Jackson, thank you for watching.
Yes,
Vietnam.
that's
so
our boss,
beautiful.
guys. So you guys know he just blocked our boss for no good reason.
So it's been nice. It's been nice hosting the Rayjet stream.
Yes.
Please welcome Lexine, the new host, next week with a warm hearts.
All right. So now what I'm gonna do is go to object envelope distort, and I'm not gonna do make it warp. I'm gonna make it mesh. So when I make it mesh, I create a mesh, right? Which is like a kind of a, how do you call it? I mean, the only name is mesh, right? It's like a threaded thing where you have like columns and then vertical lines and horizontal lines.
I guess, or
yeah, it's a grid that you can pull the handles from each side, right? So in this case, I'm gonna do like 5 rows and 5 columns, and you see how it looks, right? But you can, if you click with the direct selection tool, you can click in each anchor point and move the handles, so it distorts,
Oh, cool.
and can look pretty unique to your design. And you can do this with fonts, you can do this with everything, right? And if you want to edit the original object, you can as well. You can just see how it looks. You can click here and go to the object, right? Edit contents. Now I have the object here, and I can change the color if so want, And if I want to keep that, I can just go to object, expand object, expand fill, and there we go, right? So really simple, real quick. However, to get what you want, to do some cool effects, it might take a while, like this font, for instance, I did a 20 by 20 mesh, and you have to have some patience to do this process.
Can I ask you a question? So when you overlay the grid there, so you have like the 20 by 20, each like intersecting line of the grid becomes an anchor point that you can then use to like warp the object, whatever it is.
Yes, and you can change, like, you can move the handles one by one if you so want, instead of like.
So even when you're doing this though, can you still adjust the anchor points of the original shape, or do you have to like expand it out again first and then?
Yes, you can. Wow. You have to go to the contents, right?
Right. Okay.
But yeah, you can.
That's
so
cool.
That's the whole gist of it, right? Everything else is hard work and creativity. You already know how to use envelope distort. You know where to find it, and the rest is up to you, right? Which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do my stuff here to make my clock, and I want it to be layered. I want to have like elements glued on top of it. I want it to be cool. Now, it might look terrible, but I don't really know until I try, right? So there we go. To you, Emmy, now, because now I'm going to do my stuff here.
Back to me.
Now it's 2 minutes of designing a ramen bowl.
All right.
I'm always excited. Here, let me pull up.
Oh, here we go. So I've got an illustration here.
Yes. Classic. This is what we all come for.
Look, I've got an illustration degree. I might as well use it.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's really cute.
So I'm just going to go over with an ink and pen, which is one of these down here.
Can I ask?
I'll send it off. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Like, when you were growing up, did you sort of find your artistic style like naturally, or did you sort of drift towards like a more contemporary style when you were in school, or do you find that like would you try and illustrate in different styles depending on the brief that a client might bring you, sort of thing, or?
Ooh,
like,
that's a good question.
Like, would you draw everything kind of in a similar style? Like, I love your style. It's no quality judgment, but I'm always interested with this from illustrators. It's like, do you feel a pressure to draw in a different style depending on, like, if somebody came to you for a wedding illustration, you'd be like, what cute animal can I put on your wedding illustration? Or would you be like, okay, do you want like style, or like more painterly style, or like my cartoony style, or do you know what I mean? Like, am I explaining?
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. No, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I do have a sort of an art style, which is sort of like this cute Animal Crossing sort of character looking thing. But
and it's
yeah,
really great.
over time, it's just something I've just found over time and practice.
Well, and you even mentioned Animal Crossing too. It's like, you can be inspired by the stuff that you love, but it doesn't look necessarily like an Animal Crossing character. It looks like there are parts of it where you can maybe see the Animal Crossing influence, but like, you can see that you've taken it and then made it your own kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah, I was definitely growing up. I was definitely inspired. Oh, sorry, I was definitely inspired by Japanese like anime and manga. So I was constantly copying like the little tutorial books that you'd get online.
Yes.
Yeah. Like how to draw an eye in so many different ways.
I had exactly those books growing up. I had the like Christopher Hart, like how to become a manga artist. And the first step is like draw an oval with a cross through it. And the second one is like, now draw your finished manga. And it's like, wait. I can't
like
just draw the eyes here. Like, I can't draw these eyes. Oh man.
But yeah.
I have to say, do you follow I don't want to give too many listen, we're so happy that you're watching and please continue to watch the stream. But I do have to ask you guys, because we haven't gotten a chance to ask this before, are there other like YouTubers, be it artists or designers, stuff like that you guys follow for inspiration that you would recommend, other designers or artists to look at? Like, it's a bit of a silly one, but like the Drawfee channel, for example, even though millions of people follow, they're not like, underground, but like they are really, really great in terms of like drawing inspiration and stuff like that. For me, I watch that channel all the time.
Drawfee, one of the guys from Drawfee, I think is Murphy something, right? He's a DM in a podcast that I love, a NetBot, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you know NetBot?
So I know that one of the dudes is a DM, but I don't know NetPod specifically.
I think it's Murphy.
Could be.
I don't know if he's in Drawfee or no. You're right. It's not Murphy. He's he's a paladin. He's Beverly. NetPod.
Nathan, I think.
Awesome. The cast.
Keep designing your ramen balls.
It's Cadwell Tanner.
Oh, okay. So he's only back on the show sometimes. We don't need to get into the lore of Drawfee, but all I'm saying is that like I'm sure you guys watch other artists and designers on YouTube, and I'm curious if there's any that you could recommend to our audience. Miguel.
If I had to say YouTube, I'd say Cassie Golden.
Cassie Golden. I'm not familiar with her. What sort of
Cassie Golden? Yeah, she's a great illustrator. She's also Canadian as well. She does illustrations. But for today's challenge, I did have a look around on Instagram, and there's been one UK follower that I watch, and she's called Treetop Treasures, that's right. And she also owns a Rayjet as well. She does clocks and all sorts of gifts.
I believe actually we have featured some of her stuff, I think, previously on Instagram. If not, then we'll definitely have to check it out. But I recognize the name, I think. Sorry,
yeah,
Miguel,
I think she did one of the UK things.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to help you a lot with that. Like when it comes to my type of inspiration, YouTube at least, I'm more of a classic art guy,
Sure.
And his name, traditional drawings and oil painting, things like that, like What's a Tailor, Prokopenko and things like that. Like I'm not huge into cartoons and things like that. When I normally want to get designing inspiration, I go to Behance. I think Behance to me is my number one type of thing. I can just choose a subject and go mining there, until I find something cool and I put it together and make a mood board, all the jazz.
That's really cool. I have to say, like, it's something, again, maybe I talk about it too much, but I really just want to stress to anybody who maybe, is new to the lasering game, do not, under any circumstances, feel concerned or weird about taking inspiration, particularly in the beginning when you're still sort of learning your craft. If it helps you to be inspired to like look at what other brands and designers and stuff are doing, and then even to try and replicate what they're doing in order to learn the techniques, in order that you can then sort of apply them to your designs. Like, do not hesitate at all. It's how we all learn.
Nobody makes anything alone. Everything is an iteration of something that happened before.
Exactly. You got it exactly. Like when I was trying to become a comic book artist as a kid, I mean, I started by tracing, then tried to draw, then realized, that was never going to happen. And so I started writing. And so here we are, which is the same thing that Alan Moore went through. So there's no guarantee that I won't be just as good as Alan Moore. But, in the long run, I just want to say that like there's plenty of really fertile, important stuff to be found in, mining inspiration for the stuff that you really love. And then trying to, find your own voice.
I don't know if you could write something like the comedian. You're such a nice guy. I don't think you have that.
Thank you, Miguel. I appreciate that.
Messed up mine too.
It's
the kind of character.
What I will say, the reason I mentioned Drawfee too is I could just I could spend a lot of time just watching Amy ink this, like the underdrawing, but I might pop back to Miguel's screen here really quick to see how it's going over for you, buddy, if that's all right.
I'm doing my ramen, little by little. I'm doing my ramen. I don't know how to.
You're sort of like building you're sort of, because you have the soup thing like already ready to go, so you're gonna.
I'm not gonna do something. I'm gonna do ramen. I'm gonna put another font. I'm gonna do the mesh again. I just hope that we have enough time. We start with 7 minutes, right? It's 12, 13 minutes already.
Yep.
So I hope I have enough time to do this.
So you're using I think so too. But you're using the graphic elements as sort of as like a layout tool right now, right? Like you're sort of building. Here's roughly where this piece is gonna go, kind of thing.
Exactly. Not to mention they will be what's the name? Kiss cutter, right? So I know where to glue them to.
Right, of course. Okay.
So I gotta know where they're gonna be.
That's really cool. I love ramen. I know that's such an anime fan thing to say, but it's so good, you guys. It's so good. It's such delicious soup.
I'm not a fan of soup, but I'm not gonna put my.
That's the reason I make a point of saying it, because I don't like soup, but ramen is good.
Is Left back?
No, not yet. Well, he should be back, but I don't think he's not commenting anything because he knows that I'm onto him. He'll be here under his troll. I would love if he had a troll account called like.
I was going to say he's got a different username.
Just like not even Don Stinks at hotmail.com.
So now I'm gonna do something. I don't know if you're seeing my screen. I'm gonna do something that I learned with our very esteemed guest, not in the Rayjet challenge, but in the 2 weeks ago Laser Jam. Yes, I'm gonna do a deep engraving with this thing. So what color should I? I'm gonna get magenta. Right. So I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna do a deep engrave. So I can do the idea of this onion thingy.
Like the green onion scallion things. So explain to me. So like you're gonna use the pink ring is gonna be a deeper engraving than the rest of the.
It'll be cut, right? Everything will be cut here.
Yeah.
It'll be a cut line plus deep engrave. I can give some detail and stuff.
That's cool.
I mean, I just hope that this is big enough for me to glue to the clock and not make it,
I should mention to you guys, this is going to be an actual functioning clock. We have like a clock mechanism that we buy. It costs about $10. You can get them from, a craft store. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them from all over the place. But this will be a real functioning clock in the end. So, Miguel's not just going to like engrave clock hands on it. He could, but this ideally will be like a fully functioning clock in the end, as long as our clock mechanism works. And that's nothing that Miguel or I or Amy have any control over. I'm afraid that's up to the fine folks at Canadian Postal Services to help us with that one. But that's them and Jeff, Mr. Bezos, I should say. Sorry, Mr. Bezos.
Yes, you should say that.
Well, I'm gonna hop back over to Amy's screen really quick.
She's way more than she's actually drawing.
Yeah, no, she's fully like inking right now. She's absolutely inking. This looks like a panel from Scott Pilgrim, except like cuter and.
Wait, what is going to be the clock? Or is that just going to be inside the clock?
No, it's going to be actually inside the clock. Oh,
Okay.
Like cuckoo clock style, or it's going to be like engraved inside the face of the clock?
It's going to be cut round. All this orange bit's going to actually go inside the clock. I'll show you once we get to Corel Draw.
Cool.
It's probably it explain a little bit better.
Guys, I'm nuts about this squirrel design. Nope, nothing. Okay. Nuts. Squirrels. Anyway, so moving on. Oh God. You're right, Miguel. This is hard.
What is hard?
Hosting. So moving right along. I have to ask, part of the reason we chose clocks specifically this week is because it's a project
timepieces.
Past. Yeah, timepieces, pardon me. Part of the reason we chose to do timepieces, wall-mounted timepieces for convenience and efficiency was it's a project that we did in the past, and we have a great YouTube video specifically regarding a mix of like UV printing, laser cutting, acrylic inlaying, all that sort of stuff. And we wanted to revisit that, but in sort of a modern context, and also to show, and I'll get to this maybe shortly on sort of the Etsy side, but as it turns out, when we did a bit of research, custom clocks, I mean, there's like a lot of cool stuff you can do. And obviously Amy and Miguel's like variation in design really goes to show the sort of like variety of stuff that you can accomplish. But then also, I mean, maybe I'll just show some of this stuff right now while you guys are working away. I won't worry about, you don't have to play to the camera.
Just by the way, guys, that's a lie. He just wanted to mess with you. He wanted me to do a clock and say like, you see, in 1 hour, we can do something better than we did in the video before.
Hey, maybe if we have a clock that we made, we'll actually finish the stream within an hour, and I won't make us run 20 minutes over time.
Please.
Right, I'm going to import this onto Corel Draw very quickly.
I am quickly
talking about me.
I can show you guys. Check this out. So
you normally do it in time. Always do it in time.
Always. We never miss.
Always. Never watched that first video I did.
or the first one we did, because please.
Oh no.
Those are so I just wanted to go to show. So this is like when I think about laser engraved or laser cut clocks, I mean, you could do something, and it's certainly by no means a shot for or against any of the Etsy sellers I show. I just wanted to show the variety of stuff available to you. But something like this that is laser engraved with like a photo engraving, you'll notice that the price for this is like $160. I mean, marked down to $111, but I mean, that's no joke when you're talking about, you know, customizable, resaleable things. Obviously, laser cutting will let you do stuff that's super, super high detail, like this piece here, which is $95. This piece here I wanted to show off. This one is just a file that they're selling for the clock, but I do think the intricacy, it reminds me of the moose that Miguel did not too long ago. It's like a similar style. But there is a lot of stuff that you can do, and people are selling them for, I mean, it's no joke, the prices that people can charge, because they are a good size, but then also because, you know, it's a functioning piece of art that can sit on your wall, right? So, you know, don't overlook something like this, because there's a lot of room, you know, for artistic expression, and clearly for you to, you know, potentially be like successful in marketing this. Pop back up Miguel's screen here. Are those noodles? Are those going to be noodle shadows?
Yes, I hope so.
What do you mean? Are you not sure if this technique will work? I think it's going to look great.
I'm not so sure. I don't know if I'm going to mesh it or if I'm going to just go to bloat/warp and twirl. I'm going to twirl a little bit, and then I'm going to make a mesh. Check. We'll start making a mesh 5x5. So another good thing about this, I don't know, are you on my screen?
Yep.
Now, a good thing about this is that you can get like objects that are grouped, right? But they're singular objects. You don't need to Pathfinder and unite them. You just need to group them, and when you put the mesh, they will just be there. I don't know if this is going to look good. I think it's not going to look good.
I mean,
I engrave this.
We'll have to see when it's actually on the piece, but you have still time to, you've only been 20 minutes. You got another 40 minutes.
It's going to look weird.
That does look a little weird, but it's. I trust you.
Oh, I don't, but it's oh, okay.
I think one thing that would be cool is if you mounted this actually like onto a bowl. It's like the bowl underneath, and then mount this onto the surface and mount the whole bowl to the wall, so it's actually like a bowl of ramen. But I tend to think like in big, silly concepts, and then not really worry too much about the execution in the long run. So, I trust Miguel and the people around me to help steer me towards more feasible alternatives. This really does give you kind of like a liquid distortion. Like it maybe it's an oversimplification, but most of the distortion that you're doing with the envelope really does sort of remind me of seeing the object through, a glass or through water or whatever it might be, which is ideal, obviously, for a bowl of soup.
I don't know how this is gonna look. Like, because these are the shadows, right? I don't want this to be the actual ramen. I want this to be the shadows of the ramen.
Right.
But
I mean, if you have actual noodles on top of it, it will make a ton of sense. But I don't know that you have the capacity to cut individual noodles in the middle of a stream.
No. No way. I already took a huge risk doing this in the stream. I was like, nah, I gotta give something for people to see it. Now I'm regretting a little bit of shit I've done.
I think it looks great even without the shadows. If you wanna stick to just the more like typical ramen toppings, and then kind of move towards, if you want to add some extra details and stuff, we can always do it in like a wrap-up version after. But in order that you have something that you can be happy with by the end of the stream. I mean, you still have to like assemble. You still have the pork that can go in there. You still have the sort of like essential ramen, toppings. And I think that's what says ramen more than anything else.
It's true.
Do you remember why you chose a bowl of soup in the first place? I have to ask.
It was because I was doing some logo that it's going to be a soup.
Oh, okay.
It's for a soup company. So I was like getting some ideas and seeing where it could go. And I was like, well, I never talked about envelope distort here before, so why not? Right?
It's cool.
It's so true.
It's also like a really, I love the fact that it's going to be so different from the clocks that we did previously. I mean, it's demonstrating an entirely different like skill set, obviously, but oh, that's a great question from Daniel. So maybe you've already covered this, but how do you know how far apart to place the numbers so that the clock is accurate? So that's a very good question, Daniel.
That's actually, sorry about that. Oh my God.
So I'm not sure that we do.
We just assume that. No, I do. It's just really easy. I'm sorry about that. Oh my God. So you text, right? 12, let's say, just created. You can see it. Okay. Have your number 12 here. Yeah. You click R. This is in Illustrator only, right? Let's say I'm gonna have my ellipse here. It's gonna be white. This is the back. The number. I'm gonna center the number. Okay. And we're gonna put this here. So I'm gonna click R for the rotation tool. I'm gonna select both, right? I'm gonna put here center.
That's like the anchor point that you're rotating from.
Yes, I want this to be centered, right, on the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So here, and then you click this with Alt, like with R, Alt, R, and in the angle here, you put 30. So what's the logic behind here is that 360 divided by 30 is 12.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to have 12 numbers. So you have this, you see the preview, and then you copy, and then Control D. There you go. Then you just go and change each one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got your numbers. It can be a little bit off depending on if you actually found the center of the circle or not. And to rotate the numbers back into place, you go here in the properties, right? And you see this angle is 330. You put 360, and they go back to 0, right? So.
Oh, so they're like in like a vertical alignment kind of thing.
So
that's really cool.
Go 0, 0, 0, and then they'll go back into place. Okay.
Mhm.
I completely forgot to show you guys that. I'm so sorry.
Don't even, dude. Yeah, Daniel, I have to admit. I mean, A, that's a great question. Thank you for the question. But then also B, I hate to admit this. I was just so caught up in like the artistic side of the clocks that you guys are making. I forgot that technically it's supposed to actually tell time. Like it doesn't like to me. I was just like, yeah, the arms will turn and it'll be cool. Like it didn't even matter that it might not be accurate at all.
So, there you
Clearly
go.
that's very fundamental to a clock. I'm going to pop over to Emmy's screen for a minute because she's working in CorelDRAW. There he is.
Yeah, here we are.
Oh, this is so cute, dude. Like every time she makes this cute thing.
I know, it's so good, dude.
I'm saving all my spookiness for Halloween.
It's coming soon.
Oh, maybe I'll try
Yeah.
to do some cute stuff for Halloween. Just please let me know
It'll
in
be a
advance.
spooker.
Like,
Have to do something spooky for Halloween. You made a Book of the Dead like 3 weeks ago. You're not confined to Halloween. You're
yo, that's not
spooky on
spooky.
tap.
That's not spooky.
That's a little spooky.
What are you talking about?
The
Why
Book
are you
of the Dead?
afraid of? What?
Book of the Dead's not spooky.
No, it's not. Like you should watch more Brendan Fraser movies.
It's all about the hip hop again. This is how
Oh
it
no,
starts,
we're getting
guys.
back into this. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the what, sorry?
Hip hop again.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
no, please. So you see, guys, this is the kind of discussions that we have behind the screens. So yes, don't.
I know I'm not gonna listen. We won't. That we'll have on your birthday. We'll have that discussion. Joe, that's a great question to source the bolt clock hands and the motors. At least here in Canada, the best we've found. I mean, in terms of bulk, likely Amazon's going to be your best bet. You can get a set of 10 for about $20. So that includes the motor and like the mechanics that go in behind, as well as the arms. I can't really speak to the quality, but certainly. A little bit of testing will give you some insight into that. The most expensive I saw was about $20 for the mechanics. I'm sure that's super high end, and I'm sure it's very likely not necessary. I think for something that you're assembling yourself, even if maybe you start with just something that's a little bit more, $5 to $10, which is kind of where we bought in. I mean, you can get them for $2, but for something that's meant to be really precise, I think you may want to invest a little bit there just as a means to sort of make sure that if somebody buys it from you, it does, work reliably. But craft stores have them too, for sure. I mean, in Canada, we went to Michael's and found them there. But in the UK, I'm sure that there are craft stores called Michael's that. Perfect.
Super cute. Just in a little craft store down the road.
On the road.
That's so good.
Right, yeah, right up there.
£24. It's not too bad.
That's awesome. So that's about the same. It's like 4 British pounds would be about like $8 Canadian. It's about like the same of where we paid, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Juan, how you doing, man?
From Argentina.
Great.
Thank you for watching. We got some great questions so far today. I really appreciate you guys joining us. And
we have like 2 Brazilians here today, I think so, right? Like
yeah,
Jackson.
we've already had at least one other person.
I think Jason is just Brazilian. I don't know.
Oh, I'm hearing a little echo on you there, bud.
On me? Me? Echo? No, I'm fine.
Might be me.
Yes.
It may be. That's okay.
Okay. Oh man, I want the noodles. Like I'm almost there.
You can do this, bud. Thank you for watching from Texas, Joe. We really appreciate it. I think. Ooh, Amy, what material is that? Is that the cardstock?
No, it's just simple MDF today.
Perfect.
Simple MDF. Like,
I love it.
Nah, I'm not fancy today.
And we're always fancy here.
Fancy cardstock is only when it's your birthday, Don.
Man, I don't know if you guys saw the illustration that Amy did. Like,
that was amazing. That was
unreal. It's so good. I didn't see it until after the stream, and I was like so mad with myself. Speaking of which, actually, I wanted to pop up. Oh no, not that one. That one says "Happy Birthday, Don Yeehaw." This, which is speaking of fancy cardstock, by the way, I wanted to pop up this little banner. If you are watching the stream today and you have not previously signed up, in Canada only, I'm afraid, unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but you would like to get $25 in free consumables from our web store, you can visit the bit.ly link there at the end of the banner. It is bit.ly/1hour promo. We want to get a little bit more of an idea of who it is that's watching our stream. Do you have a laser? Are you planning on getting a laser? What can we show you that would be useful for you kind of going forward? What sort of tools, what sort of techniques, that kind of thing. So in exchange for answering a really short couple of questions, I think it's like 6 or 7 questions, we give you $25 in free materials to test out for yourself. So if you're from Canada and you have 5 minutes to visit the link there at the end of the banner, again, bit.ly/1hour promo, I would really appreciate it. That'd be super cool. We really appreciate that you guys watch too, especially the VODs on YouTube and stuff. I think Miguel and I, we were looking back at some of the old VODs this week, trying to get some numbers together for a report and things like this. And it's a little cringy to watch some of those older VODs, but it is a lot of fun.
Yes, not to mention I was huge. Like,
you were not huge. You're huge on the internet.
Yes, like the camera makes me 8 kilos fatter. You're right.
That's right. It adds 10 pounds and makes me say stupid things.
Yeah, my God, my hair. Like,
yeah, your hair has undergone some major changes over the course of the stream.
2 things, right? Like, one, I missed my hair, right? But I had to buzz it. But like, oh my God, I think before I cut it, it was looking horrible. I was like, what the fuck? How can I?
You always
come to work like that?
You always look great.
He's so sweet. Like, take him out of the stream, like, scene, please. Just remove him.
It makes you laugh. I gotta do it. So I want to check back in on the ramen bowl, but I don't want to jump in at like a crucial. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I'm just
dude, you added it.
Yeah.
I love your cartoon pork. That was a strange sentence. You know what I mean. Your stylized pork pieces. I feel like anybody would read this as ramen. Noodles or no. And I like the fact that like the font you've chosen kind of reminds me of noodles in as much as it's like it's got some little gaps in it that you can sort of see through. It's like, I don't know, it has kind of like a noodle aspect to it.
Delish.
Right, exactly. Noodleicious.
Oh boy.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
boy.
Everyone. Please keep watching. I need this.
Yeah.
I'm always so curious about the stuff that you have on your mood board off to the side.
Right now, nothing. I've just put this.
I'm melting.
Let me delete this. And yeah, I had a melting because I don't know. It's like.
Well, because you were working with envelope distort.
Yeah.
I think also like. I think also originally you were sort of thinking like an alphabet soup kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then there was something, I feel like it was just this morning that inspired you to switch to ramen.
No, it was yesterday. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was. Actually, no, you're right. Like, I wanted to do soup, but it would be weird. And then I found this font on Adobe Creative Cloud called Blow Up. Okay. And I thought it was pretty cool.
It is cool.
I was like, well, it might look nice, like make a soup bowl. But normal soup is boring. I mean, soup in general is boring and it's terrible, but normal soup is even worse. Ramen is kind of nice because it has like pork and it has eggs and it has noodles, it has something to eat. But I judge every single person that actually likes soup, just the water, the broth, right? If you do like that, I don't know, man, what's wrong with you? But
views expressed by Miguel Machado are his own and do not reflect the views of Trotec or its subsidiary.
Yes, good luck in life. I don't know.
I think the thing that I love about ramen is that it's like there's also so many different styles. So you can get it with pork, you can get it with chicken, you can get it in a whole bunch of different ways. You can get it salty, you can get it not salty, you can get it. I mean, like I said, with eggs, without eggs, different toppings. It like is a really special.
It's like that's right on. Salty.
See, when I hear ramen, I always think of the movie Ponyo.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Like when the mother gets the plate and like lifts it up and there's just like the ham.
Yep. There's so many there's very few, I don't know, there's just something special about food in animated movies. It always looks better than it ever will in real life. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is, but especially some of the Ghibli movies where they do like, I don't know.
gotta ask you on something.
Shoot.
You said it was 1 inch diameter. Are you sure about that?
1 centimeter.
1 centimeter. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I've been in Canada way too long. What's 1 centimeter in inches is?
1 centimeter in inches?
Yes.
I could tell you. Hold on.
While that's cutting, I'm going to add some decoration to my clock.
Please do.
Some deck. You already
Can
finished?
I add some
Every
acorn?
time, and now everybody's waiting for me. Like
0.4 inches, Miguel. 0.4 inches.
Thank you.
No problem. We'll assemble the clock off the stream so that there's nothing. Yeah, nobody can see us like trying to fix our timepiece.
0.4. Okay, yeah, that seems like.
How are you going to do the? I love that you use the pre-existing gear shape for the radish. That was so smart.
The gear shape. No. I use star tool, click it, create 12 points, and use the wedges. Use always the wedges, brothers. Like this is, if you know how to use the wedges, you can do plenty of different stuff. See,
Don't know how to use the wedges. I look forward to next week's stream about wedges.
Yes. Even disc jockey with that if you want.
Miguel, it's soup time. I'm excited to see this clock start coming together. Hold on. Amy, can you share your screen? I want to see how yours is coming along, because I know it's getting very close to being finished, I think.
Here we are.
Where?
There it is.
It's the
Oh, you're
acorn.
making an acorn.
Yeah, it's the acorn.
Nice.
So what it originally looked like was this. Just think on my iPad. Dead quick again. Oh, 1 minute.
Every time I
how
see
you
AI working with
acorn,
bro.
I'm like, yeah, it's obviously the acorn. It's a clock, dude. Duh. Of course it is an acorn.
every time I see Amy working with Corel, I'm like, what's she's doing? Like, I have no idea what she's doing. That sounds cool, but like, it's completely foreign to me.
It's the fact that it's imported over from another, like a software on the iPad too, that makes it so impressive to me. Is it's like her workflow involves like 3 different pieces of software that she's able to sort of like mesh together and still get what she like envisioned out, you know, at the end kind of thing, right? That's impressive to me.
Wait, you're using the
Give me
mini
a little
manager?
trick. Step in, repeat.
I mean, you're still using the mini manager? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. No, she's on the like OG Rayjet software. Miguel has the new Rayjet software, which is the Rayjet manager.
I was gonna say this is incredible because that thing is weird to position stuff in general, in my opinion, right?
It's tricky.
It's tricky, to say the least.
So for Amy, when she imports
I'm not dissing
software, she has to make the exactly. Yeah, you and I are both in trouble. I banned Lev, so don't worry. I'm out ahead of you. She has to make her work surface the exact same size as the bed surface of the Rayjet, which is fine, but it means that in terms of positioning, she kind of has to have everything set on her artboard in the software ahead of time. Amy really doesn't have a way to sort of like move stuff around on the board once it's in the Rayjet software. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah.
It is.
So like in terms of like optimizing her space for cutting and stuff from her materials, she kind of has to do all of that in Corel ahead of time before. Whereas Miguel with the newer software has sort of, that's a lot of acorns, has the ability to move stuff around freely on the board, so he can sort of position stuff up in the corner or like make put several jobs on at once and kind of squish them all together to get as much of the material as he can. That sort of thing. It's by no means is the upgrade like mandatory, but it is sort of a nice extra if you're in a position to do it, just because it gives you a lot of extra special tools and things.
Yes. Now I have mad respect for like the fact that you're doing this in the mini manager. I'm like, oh my god.
Miguel's technically got an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't have said that. Like, Lev is probably watching. He's gonna, tomorrow. Oh my god! Actually, this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, once this is done, I'll get those sent off to the Rayjet.
Perfect. I'm excited to see the whole design line come together. Yes, so that's exactly right. So the mini manager is totally fine, but the Rayjet manager just gives you so much more freedom, especially when you're using the rotary. The rotary on the original mini manager is really tricky. I watched me train somebody on the rotary with the mini manager, and you have to be, I mean, in terms of like setup and being bang on position ahead of time, you have to be like mathematical in your precision ahead of. I mean, I was watching Miguel like calculate the radius of a circular object and then use that multiplied by pi divided by the square root of the longitude of the like hypotenuse. It was unbelievable the work that you had to do to get that done, and it's totally doable. And a lot of people do it. I mean, laser tech amongst them, I think. But then at the same time, you know, I think one of the big benefits of the upgrade is just, again, it's like, if it's not to downplay the mini manager, only to say that, you know, particularly in a business context, if you're able to do more quickly, that just means more potential profit for you, right? If you're able to get stuff done twice as fast, that means you can create twice as many. It's not, you know, I'm not saying anything you guys don't already know. So what are you thinking about, Miguel? I see you in your thinking post.
He's pondering.
But yeah, he's like Winnie the Pooh.
Now I'm thinking about now it's time, like I'm finished. Now it's time to actually go to the Rayjet, but
Awesome.
I'm thinking about how I'm gonna assemble that.
So you've got
What goes first and what
17
goes...
minutes left, roughly.
Yes, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm trying to think.
No.
I'm trying to think, and there's like, yo, not to give you any more pressure, but you gotta run, boy. I was like, well, just you know.
So question from LaserTech, will there be any more 1 hour challenges using the rotary for glass bottles, tumblers, etc.? We did one. I think it is something we'd like to bring back at some point because it is a particularly strong application and something that I think is not necessarily really easy to do. It you know, deserves an opportunity to get a little bit more sort of exploration of the stuff you can do. Would you or anybody else have a particular product that you would want to see done? I believe we did. What did we do when we did the rotary? Was it patterns, or was it? I think we did patterns on water bottles, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yes, it was patterns.
I think it's definitely something that we'd want to come back to. We talked about photo engraving, but the issue with photo engraving is that it is like, it's so technically sort of tricky that I mean, it's so dependent from one photo to the next to the next to the next that to show sort of shortcuts for setting your photo up for photo engraving might not really be like a set workflow necessarily.
And also is incredibly boring. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's tough to watch somebody just altering the curves on a photo for 40 minutes. Like, we want you guys to be entertained by Miguel. And I mean, like, you know, naturally, like seeing a bowl of ramen is like, you know, it's one thing to see the design. It's another thing to see the finished product, obviously. But, you know, I think if that's something you'd really like to see, please let us know, and we'll be happy to finish the world. We will have to maybe do like a full-fledged video about it. I love him. He's awesome.
It would look nicer if I had some masking, but for like the laser design challenge, it's so cute. I actually like the burnt look on it.
I agree. I don't even notice the burn. I think like the squirrel himself was like really, really cute.
It's really cute. Really, really cute.
That's so
I
good.
agree.
All right, acorns.
Oh,
Acorn. There seems something
does
very
have
like
them.
thematically very fitting about a squirrel made out of wood. I don't know what it is.
well, first big chunk will be you, boy, or you, boy. It's gonna be. I cannot do 10 by 10 here. I can do 10 by 10 here. I'm gonna do you.
I'm not sure if I covered off this point before. I think I did, but just to reiterate, just in case, I would ask to LaserTech and then anyone else who happens to be watching, if there's a particular product on the rotary you would want to see us do, or again, outside of even rotary, any other sort of techniques in Illustrator, Corel, you know, otherwise that you would like to see us demonstrate. Keep in mind that we're going to be having a Rhino stream coming up pretty soon. So a stream that does kind of like more large format laser focus and also kind of more, you know, 3D or like industrial design style focus. That's going to be coming really, really soon. Not on Wednesdays though. Wednesdays stays our day. Just the two. Anyways, so I think, you know, we always, again, we're really open to your suggestions, and if there's a particular product you want to see, a particular technique you want to see, then just ask, and we will, you know, we'll figure it out at very least. Chances are that either Miguel or Amy is already a master anyhow, so not to worry.
I'm gonna furniture my entire house with the with the
Ramen
Rhino stuff. Forever.
It's like Marge Simpson with the piano lessons. It's like you only have to stay one lesson ahead of the kid. As long as we,
Wait, what are you talking about, man? Like,
well, it's like if somebody's like, oh, teach me how to teach me how to use the bleep blorp, and we just have to learn during the week prior to the stream how to use it, and then we can teach it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean we have to know when they ask. It just means we have to know it well enough by Wednesday.
are you okay, Don?
Not at all. Thank you for asking.
He's the little acorns.
Yeah, he's talking about
Oh,
piano
really
kid
cute.
and like lessons, and I don't know. I think this is way more personal than you let it
There you go.
show.
Those are
Time to
super cute.
decorate.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh, so that is a great question. No, that's not a stupid question at all. There are no stupid questions. The $25 in consumables. So the $25 in consumables will be given to you just as a coupon code. So you can just use it when you get to your very first checkout. You can apply it and it'll take it off of whatever it is you're buying. The reason we did that, as opposed to just sending you like a $25 in samples or something like that, is I want you to be able to choose whatever you're most interested in terms of samples. So you'll get the $25 coupon code, and whenever your account gets activated, which usually only takes a day or two, you'll be able to apply it against your first purchase, or however you'd like.
Nice.
Again, unfortunately, it's Canada only. Sorry about that, but I'm sure that your local Trotec probably has deals and launches and announcements coming up. So definitely don't hesitate to visit trotec-materials.com, and then that will direct you towards your local Trotec material supplier.
Yep, Trotec UK. It's got a 20% off glitter acrylic in October, though.
Yes. Amy, you're
Nice.
the best. Thank you so much, Amy. I want you guys to
Getting
know.
ready for that festive season.
Amy is here out of the goodness of her heart and the ability to get to hang out with you guys and to hang out. I mean, it can't be to hang out with us. We stink, but definitely don't miss Mischief Pup on Instagram. Amy's very, very talented. And if you're in the UK, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. She's a very talented designer and illustrator. Awesome. You're in Ontario. Cool. Well, listen, don't forget that also you can always come by and test out materials here in person if you like. You can give us a call in advance and we will set up a demonstration for you. You can bring your own files. And this goes for any Trotec, certainly in Canada and I think around the world. If you have something you want to try in a Trotec, by all means, give us a call in advance. Send us your files or send us your materials, that sort of thing. And we'd be happy to do a demonstration with you where you can test out your own stuff. And kind of get an idea of, what you can expect from a Trotec laser. The more that we can make it really pertinent to what you want to do, as opposed to just showing you like a generic demo, the happier we are by and large.
How's it going, Miguel?
I noticed that your ramen clock.
Tricky. The separation is tricky because, okay, let me grip this. Oh, I cannot grip it. I gotta copy.
It's
paste.
tricky.
Okay, because I want this stuff to be engraved, and I want some of this stuff to be kiss cut. So there's a kiss cut, there's a kiss cut, there's a kiss cut, there's a kiss cut, this is a kiss cut.
So these are the stroke lines essentially that you're identifying right now that you're going to add the color for the kiss cut, I think is sort of what he's.
I already messed up.
I hate to say it, because this sounds like a joke about the ramen, but like I think Miguel may have bitten off more than he can.
No. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. I completely forgot about the hole in the middle of the thing.
Did you forget your Naruto DVDs? It's the heart of the cards, Miguel. Bring it out in you. Believe in the me that believes in you.
Do you have a driller? Like at the end of the day, yeah, a drill. Because
absolutely, I have a drill.
Yeah, like
Mr. Driller.
Yeah, go back to it, and
Yes, we actually have lasers here in the building that could cut a hole in that for you later on. It'd be fine. We don't even use our driller.
I'm gonna drill a hole in the middle of the clock because I'm lazy.
Just make the clock, my dude. You'll be fine. We can add the clock pieces later.
You can work around this.
Absolutely.
I know, but oh my god.
You can do this, buddy. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Anime things. You got this. Run with your arms straight back to success.
Oh my god! Please don't do that.
Use your clock jutsu.
We're
losing viewers. I gotta pivot.
Okay, so this goes to yellow, so it's just there.
Right,
So-
so close to time. I'm just doing it like 12.
Oh, you're having to glue on individual.
Yeah, I'm adding the numbers on top of the actual clock.
So did you engrave the positioning of them on the design so that you'd know where they would go specifically to that?
No.
No? Okay, so you're like free-handing.
To be fair, there's some clocks that don't have numbers at all, just maybe
That's true,
dots
that's
or
true.
completely blank.
Yeah, well,
So
and
it's
with the
just like the
design,
imagination.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the imagination. It's a sundial, really. Also, like, you know, when you have a really great design like yours too, it's you don't necessarily want to muddy it up with all these numbers and, you know, junk. It's fine. This is what I love about stuff like this, though, is it gives you a lot of freedom to do different things. You know, you have the ability to do something a little bit more artistic or something a little bit more traditional or something a little bit,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
don't have to follow the conventional ways of doing a clock.
There's been plenty of traditional clocks made for years. Nobody needs
Yeah.
another traditional timepiece. Like, I think Miguel, part of the inspiration he told me when he was starting out was obviously Dali's melting clocks, right?
Yes.
And then in doing some Googling and research on that, there was even like people have made wristwatches that are like a melting clock that goes around the side of your wrist and stuff. It's really cool. There's so much good stuff out there. You know, if we can inspire.
I do recommend looking at that Treetop Treasures on the UK. Really
Treetop
takes it to the next
Treasures,
level.
right? Let's see if I can pull it up.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, look it up on Instagram while Miguel does that.
Yes.
Does a what? What I did? What? I'm not gonna be able to
While
fix
you're
this
working,
now.
we're
But
gonna.
yeah.
You just do your thing. We're over here. We're over here doing our
Holding-
thing. Don't you
yeah.
worry.
Holding the fort. I mean, I'm gonna be able to finish this, guys. Like, you're definitely gonna see this on Instagram, but oh man, yes, I knew it was setting myself up to failure.
No, you got this, buddy. Don't worry. Let me just quickly pull up though, because Amy's right. This is some really cool stuff.
It's the Alice in Wonderland I'm in love
Yeah, I
with.
was gonna say, like, holy moly.
Yeah. She did that on a Rayjet, I think, as well. So that just shows you the level of quality a Rayjet can bring you.
Not to mention, I
what
mean,
is
like
that? What-
the level of like design prowess ahead of time to like have inlaid all of these different tiny elements between like the rabbit hole and then the like. There's even the tiny little
Yeah.
teapots and the oh my god,
This is amazing. What is that?
why on earth? Why did Trotec hire us? These people are so talented.
Do not say that. God.
Look, I've got to be genuine. Oh yeah, they even have like a so you almost did like an homage to the wow, this is so great.
Yeah, it's so good.
I should say we have such I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Forgive me now, my memory is just no, it was 2 weeks ago already. We did a laser jam on the Friday with Kuma Crafts, who's another Trotec laser user and who does incredibly detailed, super intricate pieces that are fantastic.
Mhm.
Oh wow, custom Harry Potter Monopoly board. Wow, this is really great stuff. You know, if you guys are doing great stuff with your Rayjet laser or with any of your Trotec lasers, I hope you'll tag us on Instagram. We're going to be a little bit more active on Instagram, where we're going to really do our best. And we would love to feature some more of our super talented people like Amy, like Kuma Craft. Actually, let me even pull up Kuma Craft. Let me see if I can- Yes, Kuma Crafts makes these incredible. And I believe Amy was actually following her as well, sort of ahead of even the stream. But like this stuff inspires Miguel and I also in like a big bad way. It is, again, like we were sort of saying, it has its unique style, but in terms of just if you think about the artistry that's involved with the lasering of it, it is really, really intricate. Trying to inlay and overlay all these different colors and pieces and stuff are, I mean, it takes a lot of work and a lot of pre-planning as well. That's one of the best things about these streams for me too, is that I love watching you guys set up a design in advance to find out essentially like from a layout side how you're building it, particularly you, Amy, in this case, because I mean, as we said, you have to plan everything on the artboard for how it's even going to fit on the laser. So you really have to be mindful of your sort of layout, you know, 3 steps in advance. Miguel has a little bit more freedom because he's got the newer software, but even then he's still got to think about, you know, there is a certain limitation to having the 12 by 18 work surface, right? So like being able to fit everything in there and have it come up the way that you want it to, requires a little bit of pre-planning, a little bit of sort of pre-flight work, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Really quick, wanted to
Almost done. Almost done. I wanted to add something else to it.
absolutely, please, by all means. I just want to share this as well, just because not for just shameless self-promotion, but also like definitely don't miss out on Amy's Instagram, you guys. Like it is some really, I love this little fall bunny. The fall bunny sounds so good. Oh man.
The fall bunny. It's her spirit animal.
People keep saying it's like my first sauna, and I was like, no.
that word is a
loaded word.
That's a word, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that our customer base has no idea what that means, but yes.
3 minutes, Miguel. Are you going to be able to get something in the laser and we can show it up on Instagram later today? There it is. Yeah. Woo.
What were you going to use for the actual clock that you were doing?
So I
didn't
think
actually see.
Mostly acrylics, actually. Acrylics and plastics today.
And which colors can you get those in?
I was going to say, it's funny you say that, Amy. Let me, I have the website here ready to go, just because I wanted to show you guys. So when you see the image of Miguel's finished timepiece later today, question mark?
Why are you taking pictures of my face?
You'll be able to tell what time we finished by the clock.
Like she saw the pain in my face when I saw the time it's gonna take to do this piece, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this."
I screenshot Miguel sometimes during this trip. I've only done it once, but there were times when he does his like thinking pose and things that I think like there's a social media sticker if I've ever seen one. I wanted to take a minute here just to show you guys a lot of the acrylics that we gave Miguel sort of ahead of starting today are from our satins line. The reason we picked these is because they have a matte finish by and large, so they're not going to be super shiny, particularly when you have the clock hanging on the wall, right? You don't want anything that's going to reflect right in your eyes. I mean, maybe you do. For this particular design, though, we wanted something that was going to be really easily legible, and typically matte acrylics make that a little bit more simple. The other one we're going to be using is a bit of just our classic like Trolleys, classic Trolleys 1/16. The reason we picked this is because we have a lot of colors of Trolleys, and it is really hard to find like a broth color. So we kind of chose just like a cool neutral, like cool tone. It's the almond. I haven't seen it yet, but definitely check out engraving-supplies.ca. Use up your $25 promo that I know you've registered for sure. And, if you decide to do a timepiece or, anything inspired by one of the pieces that we've done here on the stream, I hope you guys will tag us and I hope you can show it on social media. Oh, I love it, Amy. He looks so cool.
There we go. I added some gold leaf.
Exterior?
Yeah, it's just the gold leaf again.
The gold leaf.
She has a lot of those.
So
like,
good.
It's just gluey and then doing the crafts is so cool.
Dude, and leaf on a tree. I get it.
You get it.
I get it.
I don't.
I really want to answer this question as well, just really quickly. Is the Rayjet a budget version of the Trotec Speedy? In a lot of ways, yes. Think of the Rayjet just as sort of like a shrunken down Speedy. It is like our hobbyist desktop Speedy. So it's an opportunity for you to get sort of Speedy level engraving quality, engraving speed, but in a size that makes it more amenable to like a small workshop, a desktop, that sort of thing. Miguel's working with it literally just on a tabletop next to him. It's so quiet that you can't even hear it running because I know his clock is definitely already in there running right now. Hold on, we have to get back to that. But think of it less as like the budget Speedy, and think of it more as just an opportunity to sort of get the Trotec level of engraving and stuff, but on sort of a smaller scale. Realistically, the way that the laser is created, the sort of the laser tubes, the mechanics that are inside the machine are next to identical from one size to the next. With the Rayjet, you do pay the lowest amount, but it's simply because you have the smallest bed size and the smallest maximum wattage. All of the lasers are going to give you a really similar quality level. It just gets a higher maximum wattage and a larger bed size as you get bigger and bigger and bigger. Let me see here if I've got. Okay. I think we've answered all the questions in the chat. You know what? Amy has a beautiful finished clock, and Miguel is going to have a beautiful finished clock. But we have just passed the 1 hour mark, and I do not want to keep you guys. I know you have a lot to get done. And I mean, realistically, thank you. I appreciate that. I know that Miguel is going to want to get right to work on finishing this up so we can post it later on Instagram today.
Exactly.
More importantly, if you guys get inspired by what we did today, I hope that you will post stuff up on Instagram. Tag us in it. Again, anything you use our materials for, if you get your $25 in materials and do something really cool with them, we want to see it. If you're trying out your first thing on your laser, we want to see it. Tag us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, and we will repost you and be excited to see what you're doing. We're going to try and do some more Instagram stories and things like that going forward. Obviously, we're going to try and have Amy here as often as we possibly can. She is very, very talented, and we're so lucky to have her. Thank you guys so much for being here.
And we can discuss hip hop and below.
I mean, this sounds cheesy. I was about to say it's time to go, but then I was like, oh no, we made clocks, and then I was like, oh no, but I'm already saying it. Anyway, on that note, Lev has just walked in, so I'm about to be like, it's time for me to leave. There he is.
Yay.
He banged you.
I know. We're gonna have his yearly review today.
Bye forever, everyone.
Yearly review. I can't hear you, but yearly review.
Thank you again, everyone, for watching. Make sure to stay tuned next week. And this Friday, we have another great video coming up. We have something really special coming this Friday. So definitely don't miss it. It's coming up at 12 o'clock, 1 hour later than normal. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everyone.